Hello, my name is André Almo and I have a story to tell. I grew up playing all sorts of games. When I was 7, I got a handheld console for Christmas. I was always walking around with it, taking it everywhere I could. Here's a picture of it that I recently posted. I keep it to this day. Well, I'm a 90s kid, so I had one little problem. Back then, early 2000s, it wasn't common for games to be translated. Since I'm from Brazil, my native language is Portuguese, and the games I had were all in English. I remember getting stuck several times, and it only stopped when I asked my parents for an English-Portuguese dictionary. I sat down with both the handheld and the dictionary and spent hours on them. Years later, thanks to that, I had a good understanding of the English language. And the things I learned with games didn't stop there. They boosted my imagination, made me more patient, and even honed my planning skills. I thought games were a really cool way to learn stuff. I just couldn't feel the same in school or in the English language classes I used to take. But I couldn't use games for my education. After all, the titles I used to play weren't designed for learning, especially with the traditional school curriculum in mind. But what if there were games for that? This isn't a crazy idea. Have you ever heard about DGBL? This is an acronym for Digital Game-Based Learning. It is an active learning approach, where digital games are used as tools for learning. The games used in this strategy are called serious games. This is just a boring name for games whose objective is not just entertainment, but also education. There are lots of studies on the effects of DGBL. It has been shown to improve students' concentration, information assimilation, and their ability to retain knowledge. Serious games are also seen as more fun than traditional exercises made on paper. But not all games are the same, right? There are a myriad of game genres. Their mechanics and interfaces are different from one another, and some of them are just easier or more comfortable to play. How a game is built and the design elements in it influence the user experience, and, certainly, how you learn from it. In my research, which is part of the Happy Maths project at the Technological University Dublin and funded by DRIO, I investigate how different game design elements affect learning in an educational mathematics game. We know that children using serious games learn better when certain game features are present. Here are some examples. Accuracy feedback. Simply telling the player if they did a right or wrong choice. Multiple attempts. Giving the player the chance to play more than once. Progressive levels. Making each level harder than the previous one. All these features make serious games more efficient as learning tools. In my project, I add, remove, and change game features to see how best to teach children mathematics in a digital maths game, and how such features may even be used to reduce maths anxiety, which is a specific type of anxiety associated with studying maths and manipulating numbers. My research matters because learning can be engaging and fun. Students shouldn't feel discouraged or bored when studying. They should have access to a range of alternatives to practice their skills and knowledge. Games are such an amazing form of entertainment, so why not make them a form of learning?